What's up, guys? Let me just get everything started. I'm gonna go. Okay, let me get my chat up and running. Get that link. YouTube chat. Okay, hopefully that works. Let me get a cooler background today. Hello, Frosty Cloud YouTube. What is your picture of? Is it the Lorax? I cannot see from this far. I assume it's the Lorax or something. Okay, let me put. Which RPM are you talking about? I have the Friction Pro wide body right here, 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter elongated. Well, I haven't used that one for a long time. I only played maybe one game with it. I did like the 14 millimeter. It was a bit more responsive, I would say. Had some more feel if you like that. The 16 was very muted in comparison. The 16 millimeter right here that I have, I do like as well. I think it's on the more muted side as well, like the other 16 millimeter. But you know, I'm a wide body fan, so I like the extra consistency and sweet spot. I probably need one more day with this. I played maybe only a day with it so far, but 2 sessions in that day. I played a what's it called? A higher level session where I couldn't do everything I wanted to because the balls were just harder to hit, and then an easier session where I was playing well. So far so good. I do like it, and I drilled with it one time. But yeah, to answer your question, haven't tried it enough to give like a definitive review, but yeah. Yeah, I do like this wide body look. Let me. I have carbons here in as a comparison. This one looks a little cooler, I would say. This is like a classic look, but this one right here is cooler with all the new designs and whatnot, but very similar overall. I oh, I do like Carbon's like color choices. I think it's very clean. Like the oh, wrong part. I was looking at my side. I like the green true foam here. But yeah, this one looks very sleek with all the extra lines and stuff. Kind of futuristic. And I agree that Proton wide body is actually bad. I understand that most people don't like wide body paddles because they look bad, but I'm used to this. Looking wide body, I'm like, okay, it looks relatively the same. I mean, this is the hybrid. It looks a little more squarish, but I mean, I don't care too much about the look, but yeah, that Proton wide body is different. It was significantly worse, in my opinion. I don't know. The Peacock paddle was a little bit interesting. Let me. I'll pull up a picture for the other viewers if there even is any. Proton Peacock. Let me pull. So yeah, this just too. That one is too frying pan looking. It's just too. They just made it too tapered too quickly. I guess it looks like a whole pizza pan. Okay, let me put it for my story. I didn't. I hope the Peacock plays well, but I'm not sure. Quick little stream tonight. Okay, let me get the stream link. So 1 second, sorry. I need to post it on my IG. Link to the stream. Okay, that should be good. So what's your current main Frosty? Are you using the RPM 16 millimeter, I'm assuming, since you're asking about it? Also, I don't understand about Proton. Like, Proton went bankrupt maybe a year ago, but I guess they're still making new paddles or something. I don't know how that works. Bankruptcy kind of confuses me because sometimes it's the better option or something. Let me see my story posted. Okay, we should be good. Okay. Well, in other news, the next paddle I'll be reviewing is this Bucky's paddle. I'm just kidding. But my friend Jacob gave me this paddle, and it was from Bucky's, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I have a Bucky's Christmas sweater, so he just thought it was funny that he'll give me a Bucky's pickleball paddle. Honestly, this paddle is pretty well made. Like, the handle is honestly really nice. I'm not sure you can see it, but like feeling the handle, it's pretty nice. The over grip or the stock grip they put is also feels good, and like it honestly feels better than, well, I would say it feels better than the RPM stock grip. Let's see what else I have. My carbons are still wrapped. I have a Luz Cannon right here. It feels similar, but even more plush, I would say, on the Bucky's. It's a Diadem A52, whatever that means. I don't know. It feels like a very sturdy. I mean, the handle just feels nice. The face is kind of weird. It's like smooth. It's not like, I guess it has to be paint, but I don't know. It doesn't feel, it feels like smooth, but not like plastic or anything. And the thick is probably like a Power Air, honestly, like the material, the core material, wooden plank. But yeah, funny paddle. Might add it to my set. Can I move this? No, I cannot. That'll be a nice paddle to put up here or something. Actually, I could do this. Okay, we got the Bucky's there. Yep, that's a good spot for it. Well, in all seriousness, my next paddle, or the next paddle I'm gonna review is the Luz Cannon. I have a, I am now, what's it called? I got a link with Luz now, so if you want to, any Luz paddles, use code Pickle Li for I think 15% off, something like that. Whatever everyone gets, like all the other people get. But yeah, I was looking forward to the Inferno because the Inferno is full foam and pretty powerful, so I just wanted to try it, and I like full foam. But they ran out of Infernos, so they gave me a cannon to try first. So I played with this one day, or I played with this today, at least drilling with it, and I'll give you my thoughts soon. But let me read the question. Have you ever used a C45 Franklin paddle, and if so, did you like it? I have not used a C45 Franklin paddle. I feel like, I don't know. Well, I just never had a chance to. The shop that I frequent, that I'm kind of sponsored by, that I borrow all their paddles, they don't carry Franklin, but I think they might try to next year. So I will have, their next Franklin paddle. But the C45 is kind of weird because you need a setup on it. And I feel like everyone's setup is different, but maybe everyone's doing the same setup, I'm not sure. But yeah, just not that common, I would say. And if it was around, they would only have one paddle, and then I can't borrow their paddle. So did not get a chance to hit with the Franklin. But all I heard was that you need a setup or else it sucks. And also, from what I've heard from my friend that had two of them, they just broke really fast. Like core crushed, I guess, or it became dead. And they would hit completely different, the two he had. Okay, anyways, back to my Luz Cannon. The Luz Cannon, I would say, is very mushy feeling in partially a negative sense, but I mean, I think it could play better. But right now, it's just kind of muted, and I can't real compare to like a Yola or even the RPM. Like I would give the Yola Pro 4s. I tried the Agassi recently. That was the most responsive out of these three. Like the feedback is pretty instant, normal amount of pop. This one's a little bit more cushiony and soft, but it bounces back, so it's kind of similar power. Just absorbs a little more, but still like relatively responsive. Hey Sherwin, is that how you say it, Sherwin? Is that your profile picture? Because that you are pretty jacked if that is you. Let me go to your channel. No, that's Jake. That's Logan Paul. Never mind. But hello, Sherwin. How are you doing? Anyways, where was I? So yes, the RPM was kind of more muted, had more dwell time, which I typically like compared to the Yolas. So a little easier to reset and stuff, I would say. At least easier balls with the RPM. Kind of helps you do some of the work. But the Luz Cannon, on the other hand, I think so far the sweet spot is a little bit worse. And the feel is more mushy. Maybe less initial pop. So kind of just like all absorbs and doesn't reflect right away. While this one absorbs and then bounces back right away. This one kind of absorbs more, I think. And then maybe only bounces away if you add some power. So on dinks, it's kind of like you can't really feel it as much. I did notice some dead spots on the top, I think, but I'll need to play with it more. I don't know if I should do my setup today or tomorrow after I play with it more stock. I think I should just do it today. Well, that's what we're here for. Okay, so also, I have my old Carbon 2 right here, and I need to overgrip, so we'll do that while we wait. I got some free overgrips sent, or that came with my Huda paddles. Might as well fix this old carbon I have. I have too many paddles. Okay. Oops. I should not have done that this early. I'm getting nervous, I guess. What are your guys' favorite overgrips? I think I've only used... I think I started with the Gammas as my main overgrip. I've always cared about cost, so never got just the best one. I always had to get a value one. But yeah, the Gammas were pretty solid. My next paddle, or my next overgrip that I bought in bulk was Alien Pros. Oh, there's plastic on this. Alien Pros is like a smaller company, I would say. But they had a really good deal, so I got some. They were all right, but they had less durability than the Gammas, in my opinion. Then after that, I think my brother bought a giant pack of Gammas, so we had that and the Alien Pros still. And then my sponsorship of Carbon had some overgrips, so I've been using them. The Carbon overgrips are more dry, so not for everyone, I would say, but I'm okay with. I'm not too picky as long as it doesn't suck. Okay. I'm a pro that is able to rip their overgrip off. When I first started, I used to always use scissors, but now I'm cool. I think I saw like I think maybe a tennis player rip it off like that, and I'm like, okay, that's how you do it. No more being precise with scissors. Okay. Oh, we got a grip back on the Carbon. If you're wondering why there was no stock grip, it was because I usually put on Ethos grips, like Ethos under grips, and that's the reason. And the purpose of under grips are to just change the way your paddle feels, like it has more ridges, so you kind of know better where you're, like what grip you're in. Definitely not necessary, but it does help if you like it and can afford the extra, 10 or 15 to 20 bucks. I use it personally on my main paddles. When I review stuff like this, it's just too much work, so I typically just play with it stock or whatever grip that I get it in. But if I actually main a paddle, which is mainly the carbon, then I will add some more intricate stuff. Also, I guess while we're here, I did get something very rare the other day. I got the secret rare Teddy Lulu blind box. This is the 1 in 96 chance, and I got it from my white elephant. So the normal one of these are like $20, and I got the, what's it called, $100 something version. So that's my rare setup right there. With all my random stuff. Caden Cox Pickleball says, "You're so handsome." Well, I wish that was true, but you are the handsome one. Oh yes, Caden is sponsored by Luz. Use code Caden, I think, for his paddles if you like him better. But if you like mine, use Pickle Li. Me and Caden need to collab more. He needs to teach me how to make good content. But he lives so far away. He lives in like no man's land, Georgia. I live in normal suburban Georgia. Now, Caden 15. But do people like... Okay, I started with funny pickleball content, like more skits and whatnot. That did pretty well, but then I started posting like random clips, and then those got even more views for less effort. So I started doing that for a while, and then I think the algorithm broke on Instagram, so I got less views. So I started trying to do more tips now, and that seems to be doing better. So let me know what you guys like, because Caden over here does a lot of tips, and he makes his videos look really nice. So I'm not sure I should commit to the tips as well, or I should just do my own thing, random stuff I've been doing. Half tips, half fun, or mostly clips. Some tips, random comedy stuff, skits. But oh, Caden says he's moving soon. Yeah, if Caden moves, it's over. Me and him are gonna take over Georgia. Wait, actually, Caden, now that you're here, what's the best setup for the Caden? I played with it today, and it was a little bit mushy, in my opinion, and not my favorite. I don't mind the softer feel, but I just think the sweet spot's a little bit worse than the other paddles I've been using, like the Agassi and RPM. So let me know what setup you use on the Canon, and I'll copy that. But appreciate it, Caden. I got some funny ones coming up. I finally thought of some ideas. $1.5 grams to all corners. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, I have to weigh this paddle. Got my trusty scale right here. Let me tear it. Dang, 7.88. Let me write that down on my spreadsheet thing. Okay, 7.88 ounces. Okay, that's kind of surprising. I thought it would be heavier. But maybe it's just elongated, and that's the reason. But yeah, it doesn't feel... it does feel a little lighter, I guess. Actually, never mind. It does feel heavier, in my opinion. But 7.88 is pretty light. So I guess, given that it's 7.88, the sweet spot was better when I was playing with it today. I just drilled with it today. But yeah, okay, let me copy Caden's. Caden is the Luz Pro, so you need to listen to his advice. Okay, 1.5 grams to all corners. What is the best way to achieve that? Okay, we have my carbon tungsten tape. Or we have this Mighty Halo weighted tungsten tape. I don't know what's easier. This is probably easier, I would say. Okay, paddle. I'm going to become a paddle doctor. So fun fact, when I first started, or not first started, but when I was relatively new to the pickleball scene, Mighty Halo reached out to me about getting some free tungsten tape. So I did it. They just they're on Amazon, so I just reviewed it, I think. Or just promoted it on my story. But yeah, nice tungsten tape. 1.5 grams. So according to this, 1.5 is like that. That seems pretty small. But let's see. Okay. Did you have 0.5 per gram inch, or did you have 1 gram per inch at Caden? If you're still there. Because this seems kind of small. I could see the 1 gram or the half a gram per inch looking better than this, because it's it's going to be like, I think, double the length. But at this current size, it looks a little weird. But we'll see. I'll trust the process. Okay. Hopefully my strategy is okay. I'm just using the other ones as the guide. All right. There we have it. We have 4 strips of the tungsten tape. So now, per Caden's, what's it called? Per Caden's recommendation, we're going to add it to all the corners. Does that look right? That looks kind of off. Or does it look right? YOLO. The corners look so rounded, so I can't tell. Let's do it slightly lower. I think it doesn't hurt to be lower. Okay, so that's our first tape. And let me try to get the other tape. That. My second one was definitely lower. Boom. All right, that looks pretty even, I would say. How's it feel so far? Okay, not too bad. I can still flick. Now bottom corners. Let's try this out. I have never done a setup like this before. Actually, maybe I lied. Is this even? This looks a little bit tall. Okay, that looks pretty even. Hopefully the setup will be good. We got... Okay, that's probably good enough. Okay. All the corners have been leaded up per Caden's request. I think I'm gonna go rogue and add some weight on the bottom. You can never go wrong with weight on the bottom. So I'm gonna steal it from this other one I had. It's a 9-gram flick weight. Ooh, that's a little heavy, but actually let's weigh it before I do that. $8.15. Okay. Not too heavy. 8.15 with lead with 1.5 grams on each corner. Okay, let me add this 1 gram flick or 9-gram flick weight. This has been on this paddle for a while. Okay, going rogue from his instructions and adding my favorite flick weights. And I like the flick weights because they just make your paddle a little lighter feeling when you're flicking and stuff. Because of science. All right, we added the 9-gram flick weights. So we have a 9-gram flick weight and 1.5 grams of lead tape on each of the corners per Caden Pickleball's request for advice. Okay, definitely feels doable. The total weights is, my thing was not even. 8.47. Let me write that down. 8.47 with 9-gram flick weight. That's about the weight. That's a weight that I would like. I can do heavy, but I think 8.5 is a good weight. I don't want it too light because I don't want to. If it's too light, I feel like I'm not maximizing my strength because I can handle heavy stuff. I want to maximize the consistency of the paddle, not just making it lightweight. So hopefully this new setup will be better. I have some high hopes for it. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Okay, let me see. Is there anything funny I can do? Nothing really funny. Hmm. I guess I guess it's a light day today of streaming. Maybe I'm just spoiled of having people usually join, but I guess no one wants to join today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any Luz paddles, use code Pickle Li. It'll get you 15% off. Make sure to join my Discord if you haven't already. We do a lot of cool chats about paddles, pickleball advice, etc. And also check out my pickle list for the community ratings of all your favorite paddles. If you're in the Atlanta area, you'll get $20 off Premier Racket Sports if you rate 5 paddles. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.